Hello, this is Jason Rutberg. I am National Deputy Director of Global 180 over Communication and Technology. I know many of you have been very interested in discovering what Playball is. After you are finished with this video, you will have no doubt in your mind what Playball is, and equally how important Playball truly is. This is Operation Playball. The USA has learned about torture of one of its citizens by the country of Canada. They did nothing. Operation Playball is the campaign to wake up the 80 to 90% of the people of the world. It starts with this issue. The State Department of the United States to this day refuses to pursue action to reunite a citizen with his 3-year-old son, if he's even alive. Scott Loper, a citizen of the United States, was tortured for 4 years in Canada. 4 years! And you don't even want to know how he was tortured. You don't. It's very, very disturbing. Congressman Steny Hoyer and the State Department were unwilling to pursue action after being advised by the executive branch, hello, that's George Bush, people, not to do so due to fear of disturbing relations with the Canadian government once he returned to the United States. Mr. Loper no longer knows where his little child, Eddie, his 3-year-old, is. The State Department, to this very day, refuses to act. We intend to change that. We are the fastest growing political organization in the world, dedicated to protecting the rights and freedoms of all people. We need to ensure justice is done here. It is clear Canada violated Article 36 of the Geneva Convention. Scott Loper was denied access to a U.S. embassy. This denial makes this issue an international incident. This can be prosecuted in The Hague. People can actually be severely hurt in the U.S. government by this issue. So you need to understand what we're dealing with here, people. I said in the last video, we're not playing games anymore. I said it's time to get angry. It's time to get frustrated. You being angry, you being frustrated does not mean you're a terrorist. But that's what your government wants to do to you right now. So you better wake up. It is clear that the United States State Department did not want to pursue justice in this case and accepted documents from Canada of dubious quality. You can see the documents themselves on the USA180 website. We have all of them. The United States has clearly put the relationship with a foreign government over that of its citizens. Once discovered, its citizen was tortured and his child and wife abducted. It has done nothing. Yet our own same State Department releases a convicted murderer on death row because we allegedly violated Article 36 of the Geneva Convention with Mexico? Think about that one for a second, people. Think about other ways our Congress has done nothing for you lately, but saddle you with debt. Who is going to stand with USA 180 and defend his right to a government that is of, by, and for you? For the people. Is Dennis Kucinich? Is Ron Paul? Marcy Kaptur? Cindy Sheehan? Jesse Ventura? Hey, what about the 6 people in Congress who voted to protect the First Amendment? Because they felt our rights and freedoms were actually more important than global trade or global fear. which is what we've been led around with for I don't know how many years now. And now we've got 1955 standing on our door, ready to define us as a terrorist if we get too emotional about our government because they're wronging us. Who is going to stand in solidarity with USA 180 and ensure justice is done here, even at the risk of damaging relations with the Canadian government? Who is it going to be? It's going to be our test for you. We stand in solidarity with any person who seeks to right this wrong. When did we decide that we only stood up for people's rights if it was convenient? With the introduction of H.R. 1955 in the House, where 6 people voted to protect the First Amendment, we have had our doubts about who in government actually belongs there. Who in government is ready to hand out $36 billion bailouts like we are some corporate welfare state that believes we even have a right to do that, devoid of personal responsibility? And who actually understands we are a constitutional republic? In short, who is our friend and who is our enemy? Who works and votes against the will of the people and who votes for the will of the people? This is what we need to know now. We know Barack Obama is in the same committee as Joe Lieberman with 1959 in the Senate. Why hasn't the government talked about that? Why hasn't the media talked about that? Because that could probably sink Barack Obama. Because he'd have to make a stand and say, yes, I'm for your rights, or no, I'm not. Wake up, people. The way you get things done is this way. So this is what we need to do now. What media can we trust? What media can we not trust? Finally, who in the community believes what this country was built upon? The rights and freedoms of all people. Stand with us in solidarity. Show the world you have the courage to hold a position of leadership in our great constitutional republic. We have a 3-year-old here. Mr. Loper, after being tortured for 4 years by Canadian officials, doesn't know where his kid is. He doesn't even know if his child is alive. Help us seek justice here, people. We have all the documents. We have the documents Condoleezza Rice signed. We have the documents Steny Hoyer signed. We have documents that look like collusion between the United States and Canada. Help us seek justice. This is wrong. Is this the moral fiber of our U.S. Congress? Do this for Eddie. He deserves to know his father. And we deserve to know who we can trust. Go here to review the documents yourself. www.usa180.org. And get ready to shake this country to its foundations.